Hall of Fame ceremony. I'm proud to stand before you as the Associate Vice President for Student Experience, Athletics, and Recreation. In our world and our terminology, I'm the AD. Cut to the chase. Let's celebrate today's football victory. Love to have a football victory on Hall of Fame weekend. Congrats to Coach Renko and his crew. Well done. Love to score the 42 points, get that on the board. Love to see our offense get rolling. It takes a team to make an event like this successful. Our planning committee is comprised of staff from advancement, marketing and communications, and athletics. While everyone does their part, Janet Marble plays the lead role in keeping us on track, so I wanted to give her a shout out. And I would also like those who executed any task to make this Hall of Fame weekend a success from our staff from here at Alfred University. Please stand and let's thank them for their work. They're humble. They're humble. There clearly were some volunteers that I missed on planning committee days. I thank you also to those who helped execute on game day, and I would call this as game day, so our IT staff, AVI, facilities, and our student athletes. Truly, teamwork makes the dream work, so thank those folks as well. Tonight, we celebrate our 50th annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony. In 1973, Alfred University inducted 7 charter members into the Hall of Fame. Dean Fredericks, Wilbur Getz, Lester Goebel, Merle Green, Frank Loba, James McLean, and Ray Witter were those charter members. 5 years later, and with 5 years after Title IX was passed, in 1977, basketball, tennis, track, and field athlete Peg Neuweisinger Gray was the first female student athlete inducted into our Hall of Fame. We've had several past inductees join us this evening. Please stand as your name is called and remain standing as you are able. So from the class of 2021, Cameron Chambliss, Jessica LeBaron King, and Jared Manzer, all from the class of 2021. Paul Keeley from the class of 2019. Don Miller from the class of 2018. From the class of 2010, and our men's and women's swimming and diving coach, Brian Stryker. He's probably on his way. His daughter was swimming this evening, so he will be on his way. Eric Winke from the class of 2008. Art Apgar from the class of 2002. Tim Shaberly from the class of 1996. From the class of 1994, Keith Gregory, Brian O'Neill, and Howard Seidman. Terrence Bruce from the class of 1989. He's in the back. He recently fell and broke his leg, so that wasn't going to stop him from attending. There's a good Saxon resilience right there. And last but certainly but not least, Joe Fasano from the class of 1985. Congratulations to you all. Thank you so much for returning to celebrate tonight's Hall of Fame inductees. Mathematician and philosopher Alfred North Whitehead. Come on, I had to find somebody with a name of Alfred to quote. No one who achieves success does so without the help of others. The wise and confident acknowledge this help with gratitude. So thank you to our selection committee who navigated through our nominations and selected a phenomenal class. Their names are noted in your program. Thank you for your time in selecting the 2023 class. Tonight, we honor a team of distinction a distinguished Saxon, and 4 inductees. While these Saxons began their athletic careers, I doubt they looked down the road and thought, I'm going to be inducted into the Alfred University Hall of Fame. Instead, what they did is they made a commitment to getting better every day, a commitment to improving their individual skills, a commitment to leading their team, and a commitment to their community. So now, let's celebrate the 2023 Alfred University Hall of Fame inductees. Join me in welcoming a senior on our men's swimming and diving team, a native of Honduras, and a mechanical engineering major, Alessandro Lagos Canelas. Alessandro will present the team of distinction.
I have the pleasure to present the 2023 Saxon Hall of Fame Team of Distinction. The Team of Distinction recognition is reserved for Saxon teams that are considered the best in the history of Alfred University athletics. This award recognition began in 2021. The 1983-84 men's swimming and diving team joins the 1971 undefeated football team and the 1988 women's soccer team as Alfred University's teams of distinction. Members of the 1983-84 men's swimming and diving team, please join me on stage. The men's swimming and diving team finished their dual meet season with a 14-0 record. After finishing second in the Upper New York State Championship, the team qualified for the 1984 NCAA Division III National Championship, which was held at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. The team, led by legendary head coach and 2010 Hall of Fame inductee Mike Shaberly, broke 14 of 17 school records during the season. His father. At the NCAA championships, the team finished 8th out of 76 teams and had many notable performances, including Howard Simon was crowned national champion as he won both the 100 and 200-yard breaststroke during his senior season, breaking his own national records that he set in his junior season. John Jewell finished 5th in the 1650 free and 6th in the 500-yard free, and joined Mark Genn, Team Janicki, and Team Shaberly to finish 12th in the 800 free relay. Tim here. Team Shaberly finished 10th in the 200 free, and younger brother Kerry Shaberly finished 10th in the 100-yard breaststroke. With those top finishes, all 7 earned All-American honors. The team also set 7 school records at NCAAs, besides some of the finishes noted earlier. Ray Snyder broke a school record in the 100 back, and he joined with Howard, Art Abgar, and Team Shaberly to break a school record in the 400 medley relay. The team included 24 athletes, and 6 of them are current AU Hall of Fame inductees. On behalf of Saxon Athletics, I am proud to honor you and your teammates as the 2023 Hall of Fame Team of Distinction. Joining us tonight are Art Abgar, Carl Borst, Howard Seidman, and Team Shaberly, who will provide remarks on behalf of the team.
Take a photo.
Girl over. Up there.
Way to go.
Thanks, sir. Yep. So good evening. It is a pleasure to be here this evening and back on the AU campus. So President Zupan, you, the administration, the faculty, the athletic department, you guys are doing great things. Really appreciate what you're doing here. So, yes. So on behalf of Howard, Art, and Carl, who are here tonight, and the members of the 83-84 team, we would like to sincerely thank Vice President Deborah Stewart and the Hall of Fame Committee for the selection as a team of distinction. Joining the 71 football team and the 88 women's soccer team, it's truly an honor to join those really good teams. So I reached out to many of the members that couldn't be here tonight, and they wanted to extend the same sincere thanks. They all have obviously fond memories of AU. And also thank you to Alessandro for the recap of the numerous accomplishments. Thank you very much. So I just want to, brag a little bit about the team, a couple of additional comments that I'd like to add to Alessandro's. So many of the individuals on that team were also on the 82-83 team that also went undefeated. They went 10-0, so that's a 2-year stretch of being 24-0, which is not bad. And also many of the members of that team were also part of a 3-year run of top 10 national championships. In 83, we were 7th. In 84, as Alessandro said, we were 8th, and then the following year we were 7th. So it was a pretty good run for the team. So Brian Stryker sent an email around to a lot of the team members and said, it's quite an impressive assembly of talent that we had there. 9 members of that team would go on to receive over 50 All-American awards during their career. So again, a lot of talent on those teams. Now, swimming is generally considered an individual sport, and although this team had a number of individuals who were very talented and got All-American status, you don't go undefeated without a bunch of other people on that team. We clearly had a number of other people who contributed and provided efforts to that team because we needed them in order to succeed. Carl Borst, who's here tonight, he captured this team-focused approach. He sent an email around to the team, and what he said was everyone on the team was important, and that's obviously a good principle in life. And many of the members of the team learned that during that season and obviously used that throughout their lives. Many times members of that team didn't know when their efforts would be critically important, but everyone on that team was always ready to step up and deliver when they needed to. Now, again, our success was truly a team effort. And although we had the top-line swimmers who won the events, we still needed members top to bottom on that team to get a second or a third or fourth to gain the valuable additional points that we needed to win that meet. And that team effort mentality is what allowed us to be successful. Carl, thank you very much. That was tremendous. So as indicated earlier, I reached out to a number of the guys on the team and asked for their recollections and memories. And the one memory that many of them stated and vividly recall is Coach Shaberly, Dad, pacing up and down the pool constantly on the deck during the meets. And every time you would come up for a breath, there he was with his supportive and encouraging, pick it up. And we always heard that all the time. That was his signature phrase. Now, in addition, there's a consistent theme that emerged from the correspondences I got from everybody. It was that the swim team was like a second family. Bob Nash, who's not here tonight, and he was a key contributor, said, and I quote, and I'll read it here. He says, "I remember the support, the encouragement, and the leadership of the upperclassmen and Coach Shaberly in and out of the pool. Throughout my swimming career at AU, the team was like my second family." A tone clearly set by the 83-84 team. Now Art, who's here as well, also said, not only was that group a team, it also felt like my second family. His comment was, I remember many times when we were on campus, the student body had left, we had to stay behind to train. We had to stick around and everyone was gone and went back. During those times, we'd often end up at Coach Shaberly's house for dinner. That was also known as my dinner table. So nothing like 20 college kids having dinner together felt just like family, slightly more chaotic. Now, the second family theme continued because many of the individuals recalled the Fort Lauderdale training trip that we would take. And over the New Year holiday break, we all left our home families for a second family vacation. Now, in reality, that was a 2-week trip to Florida for training. On December 6th, we piled into a bunch of cars and drove straight to Florida. 4 hours a day of training at the International Swimming Hall of Fame pool. 3 meals a day, all spent together. Talk about forced family fun, but we did it. We got through it. Now, in wrapping things up, I'd like to share some comments from my father, Coach Shaberly, who I visited last weekend in Florida. And he certainly wishes he could be here, but for health reasons, he could not make it. He also expressed his thanks to Vice President Stewart and the Hall of Fame Committee for this honor. And we talked a lot about that team. I actually showed him a picture of the team, and surprisingly, he recognized everybody on the team. There's people on there, I'm like, Dad, who was that? And he knew them, so good for him. He has very fond memories of that team, and he stated it was certainly one of the most memorable teams that he had, and I'm not sure memorable is good or bad. I'm pretty sure it's good. And, that was one of his most memorable teams during his 24-year career. So, in summary, and on behalf of the 84-83 team, Howard, Carl, Art, again, we'd like to thank Vice President Stewart and the Hall of Fame Committee for that honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect, guys. Got it? Please join me in welcoming our Saxon Nation Board of Directors President, a 1991 graduate and former member of our men's basketball team, Brian Battle. Brian will present the Distinguished Saxon Alumni Award.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to serve as a Saxon Nation Board of Directors President and appreciate of the opportunity to stand on the shoulders of those who came before me. Tonight, past President Bob Codispoti has been a mainstay here at Alfred University for 6 decades. Together with his wife, Pat, a former successful AU women's soccer coach and softball coach, the Codispotis have positively impacted generations of Saxons through their commitment to Saxon Nation, both broadly with their connections far and wide, and the Saxon Nation as our fundraising arm. Tonight, we appreciate you. Bob, Pat, please stand. I just want to say thank you very much for everything that you have done for us over the years. Now, in collaboration with Deb and the Vice President of University Advancement, Aaron Martinovich, we have implemented a new sports-specific fundraising model that focuses on the affinity of donors. Now you can give directly to the sport or program of your choice, while still being considered a member of Saxon Nation. Please join me in supporting our student athletes. Now tonight, I have the honor to present the Distinguished Saxon Alumni Award. This award is presented to an Alfred University student-athlete graduate whose career success is defined by leadership, service, and the advancement of others. Stephen Miller, from the class of 1973, epitomizes this award and will be the 3rd recipient of this award since its inception in 2021. Steve, please join me on stage.
Attaboy, Steve.
Stand up there. Don't move. After transferring from Ohio Northern, Steve had to sit out a year due to NCAA rules. So he served as our assistant JV men's lacrosse coach. In 1972, he was named All ECAC Second Team Defense and served as a team captain. In his senior year, with enough credits to graduate with his degree in business administration, Steve decided to accept the head varsity boys lacrosse coach position at Bishop Grimes High School in Syracuse. In 1975, Steve began officiating at the high school level. And in 1977, he officiated his first college game, which, ironically, was between AU and the former Eisenhower College. In 1986, Steve officiated his first NCAA playoff game, and from then on, he worked at least 2 playoff games per year and many NCAA championships. Steve has served on the National Intercollegiate Lacrosse Officials Association Board for more than 20 years, twice as its president. This association trains and provides men lacrosse officials for Division I, II, and III. An upstate chapter of U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Famer, Steve has worked pro box lacrosse and outdoor league games. He was selected to ref at the FIL World Games in 1988, the U19 World Games in 2002. Steve has officiated summer lacrosse tournaments in Lake Placid, Vail, the International Lacrosse Federation World Lacrosse Championships in Manchester, England, as well as tournaments in the Czech Republic and Germany. Currently, Steve is the coordinator of officials for 6 Division II and III conferences in New York and Pennsylvania. Not only is he passionate about lacrosse officiating, but Steve is also a longtime ski instructor both in Central New York and in Deer Valley, Utah. I am proud to present the Distinguished Saxon Alumni Award to Stephen E. Miller, class of 1973.
Whoa. Yeah, someone finally got it right. Brian, you got it right. First, I want to apologize for the picture that's in the program. They must have found that at the Delta Sig house after they closed it, because I have no idea where that picture came. The other thing that's very interesting is, you know, when you don't have your glasses on and you read the itinerary that Janet Marble sends you, I thought it meant 50 minutes of speaking, not 5. So I had to redo my speech last night. But I do thank the Hall of Fame committee and Deb Stewart for giving me such an honor of a university that I was so proud of when I came here, and the fun I had here. So I want to congratulate my fellow inductees. As I said to my family and friends, I would have a short speech, unlike the other ones I've had for Hall of Fames I've been in. I'm glad my guests understand that. It's in the front row here. I was just an average lacrosse player, but I loved it. So how did Alfred impact my life? If it was not for being able to play lacrosse here, what would my path have been the last 50 years? It's quite a thing to think about. My family was a big part of everything. I had the supports from my 2 sons, Brian and Jeffrey, both lacrosse players at Colgate and Washington and Lee, my daughter-in-law, Catherine, and my 2 grandkids, Finley and Tatum. But most importantly, my wife, Ann, an Alfred State graduate and from Hornell, New York, she supported my dreams and ambitions in this sport. And that's so important. How many husbands leave on a Saturday? They don't mow the lawn, but they go ref a lacrosse game. That doesn't happen often. I came to Alfred the most unusual way. I was at Hobart College, but didn't last there long, and then went to Ohio Northern University, who did not play lacrosse. So what should I do? I wanted to play so badly, but I know Len Oberfell, the Alfred University coach, had sent me a letter in high school. So I said, why not go to Alfred? Why not come down here? The next thing I found out that they accepted me. So here I was in my sophomore year. Ended up living in a dorm on Main Street. That happens to be, I think, Theta Gamma. That was a lawyer's office, by the way, back then. It wasn't a sorority or a... And so we walk in, all the transfer students, is that where they stuck us? Because there was no other place, I guess, they wanted to transfer people to stuck. And my mom always said, the reason you never got any trouble is you lived in a lawyer's office your first year. So here I was. I became a member of Delta Sigma Phi at Ohio Northern. So since I pledged that fraternity, they would accept me into the fraternity here. Of course, they called me half-brother then because I never pledged here. And today we see it as the Welcome Center, but in our day it was beer on tap 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and if you didn't get stuck on the basement floor, you were lucky. It was a friendly atmosphere here. One bar at AU and everything closed on Saturdays. If you could get through all that confusion, you could survive at Alfred. The football team lost 1 game in 3 years, and Hot Dog Day was started here. And it continues today. As we started lacrosse practice, we were short on many numbers. So I recruited many of my fraternity brothers at Delta Sig to play. And 2 of them today are in the Hall of Fame and learned how to play lacrosse at Alfred University. We played hard on those mud fields. No turf in those days. Won a lot of games. You know, my teammates came down, some of them today, for this induction. Bruce, Truitt, Barkley, John. And then the biggest supporter we've all had at Alfred, Mark O'Mara, came here. Maybe not a lacrosse player, but he'd come to all the games. Many of my teammates continue playing during those summers. Club lacrosse up in Manlius, New York, where I lived. And it was fun. Lacrosse is a unique community. Maybe this is why I made it a big part of my life. It did not matter how many NCAA, pro championships, club championships I've done. It was about the people I met. It was about the players, coaches, and my fellow officials. It was about the camaraderie we had on the field and off the field. It did not matter if the game was in front of 45,000 people or 50 fans. I refereed it the same way. I guess my officiating career was the same like a waiter in a fine restaurant. Serve your meal, go unnoticed, get tipped, go home. Although I did spill the dessert according to some of the coaches. You do not receive honors and accomplishments without some great guidance and help. My high school coach, Tom Hall, who passed away last January, put a stick in my hand as a sophomore in high school. He showed me more than I could ever give back to him what lacrosse has always done for me. He was always there with any support I needed and always cared about the officials. There was Walt Munsey, who, right here, was my mentor. Guided me through those 2 hard 2-man games in the Syracuse Dome. Yes, 2-man games, not 3 today, all your lacrosse players sitting here. And also guided me through the fish being thrown at us as we left to Hobart Boswell Field to go back to the locker room, which probably Deb Stewart remembers those days. My good friend, Tom Abbott. 35 years we traveled all over the country, officiating D1 and pro games. He was always the driver of the car. I was always the guy that made the airline reservations. So we made sure we got to where we needed to go. And we did some great things in those days. Even delivered pizza to Notre Dame, believe it or not. Those memories live for me forever. The funny thing is Tom, Walt, and I are college lacrosse assigners today. Tom being the coordinator of NCAA men's lacrosse. So our journey still continues in this sport. In closing, Alfred let me continue a dream that I hope never ends. I have always supported Alfred lacrosse and will continue to do this in the future because their vision in me helped me form a path in life that I would never trade for anything. Thank you for the Hall of Fame committee. Thank you for such a great honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for your poignant remarks. Congratulations to all of our honorees. Thanks to Deb Stewart and her coaching staff, athletic department staff. And echoing her remarks, thank you sincerely to everybody who helped put this evening and day together. Saxon Nation, the planning committee, the selection committee, our advancement staff. It's been about a decade in Los Angeles, and it's got the feel of the Academy Awards, except it's classic Alfred, warmer and more authentic than those awards. We're just a few days shy of the 160th anniversary of the Gettysburg Address. It's so incredibly short that very few photographs remain of that occasion. 271 words in the address, but incredibly powerful. So much so that most of us, I think, can recite it. I have a younger son who memorized the entire thing, still to this day can recite it. For the last 2 decades, we've had a mission, vision, value statement that's even shorter than the Gettysburg Address. But I have yet to find somebody who can recite it. I have a standing bet with faculty, staff, and students. Anybody that can recite it, I'll pay them $10. I have not had to pay on that debt, or that bet. With the trustees, because they're more well-to-do, it's been a $1,000 bet. And I haven't lost that $1,000 yet. We had a board meeting 2 weeks ago, and we proposed a much shorter mission statement going forward of only 6 words. What we're about at Alfred University is helping our students realize their purpose. People with purpose live longer, have happier lives, and there's this important giver's gain, and what they find joy in also makes the world better off and redounds to them by making others in the world better off. There was a breakfast this morning at McLean with our honorees. A number of them were on the panel with KJ, one of our current star basketball players. And this is the 50th anniversary. And what consistently rings true about how much the people we're honoring found their purpose because of Alfred University and their experience with athletics in particular. And Steve spoke very eloquently about this morning as well. How the giver's gain he's gotten by helping to make lacrosse more successful, how that catalyst happened here at Alfred University with the coaches, the fellow students, and the other supporters. So today's mainly looking back. I'm an economist, though, and the relevant margin to an economist is always the future. It's the thing you can change. The past you can celebrate, you can learn from, but what you can affect change in is going forward. Our trustees are some of our biggest supporters. Close to 70% of them were student athletes. Our current board chair was in the class of honor last year in 1988, women's soccer, NCAA All-American Carolyn Clark. Our vice chair is a lacrosse player. And of the entering class nowadays, typically 33% of our students want to do D3 sports. 25% graduate doing D3 sports. So when you think about the most successful alums, close to 70%, there's a crucible that happens on the fields, on the pitches, and the pools, on the courts. Learning time management skills, team playing, leadership, dealing with adversity. So as we celebrate the past but look forward, to what extent that can be a continued recipe for our university's success. As you likely know, our board approved moving ahead with Saxon Hill roughly 2.5 weeks ago, pending receiving $10 million in philanthropic support. The day they approved it by Zoom, later that day we had a trustee make a commitment with his wife that put us over the $10 million mark. We've since received some additional interest. We think we'll easily surpass $14 million in gifts and commitments toward a huge project, $28.6 million. that's expected to draw 170 student athletes under Deb's leadership, the coaches we have, and the coaches we'll be adding to the team. So we'd just ask us to also reflect going forward. We're going through a challenging time. We've been through a challenging time due to COVID. There are demographic factors. There are questions about the value of higher education. But what's gotten us here will get us to an even brighter future. And like Lincoln noted, that this nation would have a new birth of freedom, that we have a new birth of success. And would encourage you to think about paying it forward to the next generation of student athletes the same way a team helped you to succeed, and it's always a team that helps us to succeed, but how we're part of the team here at Alfred University for the next generation of students. So we'll turn it back to Deb Stewart.
Thank you, Mark. All right, so we are at the point where we are celebrating the next group, our individual Hall of Fame inductees. And I have the pleasure to introduce each one of them. Since 1836, we have been lighting the way for students. And since 1895, we have provided opportunities for students to compete as athletes. Initially for Alfred men, and then later our women. This is a place that lights the way for our students to find their purpose, as President Zupan said. Through exploration and failure, collaboration and teamwork, determination and passion, mentoring and engagement, tonight's inductees are now recognized as one of the best in the history of their sport at Alfred University. It's pretty powerful. You earned this honor, and we are incredibly proud to call you a Saxon. This honor is memorialized in the lobby of the McLean Center, on our digital and wall display. In addition, if you go to gosaxons.com, you can look at that website, and under the Saxon Nation tab, you'll be able to read about the bios and the inductees. So let's begin. A 4-year member of our Saxon softball team, Nicole Hedrick-Kevitt, from the class of 2012, still holds the single-season record for pitching with 19 wins in the 2010 season. Nicole was a force in the box, batter's box, on the bases, as well as in the circle. At graduation, she was in the top 10 in 15 statistical categories in the softball record books. Besides her wins record, Nicole is number 2 in single-season hits with 66 in 2010. A quick rundown on some of her top 10 records. Second in career batting average with a .410 average. Third in career pitching wins with 37. Fourth in single-season runs with 46. Fourth in career HRs with 17. Fourth in career pitching shutouts with 8. Fifth in career triples with 8. Fifth in career stolen bases with 34. Fifth in stolen bases in a season with 25 in 2010. Sixth career runs with 102. And seventh in career hits with 149. As a former softball coach, dang, I want that woman on my team. Nicole was also named the 2010 Empire 8 Player of the Year and was selected first team All-Region that year. In addition, she was selected to the All-Empire 8 first team in 2009, 10, and 11. During Nicole's playing days, her teams won 70% of their games. In 2009, the team set new single-season records for wins and beat Ithaca for the first time. We all like a win over Ithaca, don't we? In 2010, the team was Empire 8 co-champions, the first ever title for the softball program. That year, the team was ranked in the NFCA Top 25 poll for the first time in school history, and they went 3-2 in the NCAA regionals. Nicole earned her bachelor's in psychology and criminal justice and is a school psychologist in Hudson, New Hampshire. She lives across the canal with her family in Nashua, New Hampshire. Nicole continues to compete in the GSL, the Global Sports League, in USSSA slow pitch softball. Since 2021, she has been named to 10 all-tourney teams at qualifiers, states, national, and world tournaments, and I think she's here instead of being at a world tournament, and earned an offensive tournament MVP award at the state tournament. On behalf of Alfred University and Saxon Nation, I am proud to present Nicole Hedrick Kivett as a 2023 Hall of Fame inductee.
That was a lot. Okay. So I can't say enough how honored I am to be here today, but not only for this award, just to be honest, being part of this amazing community and forever a Saxon. To be honest with you guys, I never in a million years would have thought that a town with one streetlight, which now has downgraded to 0 streetlights, would make such an impact on my life. I always picture myself going to a big college in a big city somewhere, and somewhere warm, I might add. So Alfred was definitely not the warm, beachy idea that I had in mind. However, Gino found me in a tournament, and next thing I knew, I was on campus, and I already signed my life away to this school by the time I got home. So I came from a very small Catholic school. I think I graduated with maybe 48 students, which meant uniforms, natural hair colors, and really just ordinary. So to say that my tour on campus was a culture shock was an understatement. I remember walking around just seeing sleeping zombie art students and thinking to my dad, what the heck am I getting myself into? Little did I know at that time how badly I needed Alfred University and that outside of ordinary mentality, really for all of those reasons. Once I arrived, I quickly realized that no matter how different you are, no matter what social group you came from, you belonged, you were accepted, and your differences were truly appreciated. I've truly never been to a place quite like Alfred, where being your true authentic self was really just freeing and easy. There was no pressure to be anybody but yourself, and that allowed me to be exactly who I wanted and who I could have been. I learned so much in the classroom, on the softball field, and within myself during my 4 years here, and for that I will forever be grateful. Now on to the most important part. Although my name will be on that wall, behind that are so many people that I need to recognize today. One of the most important, my dad. Thank you for all the countless hours you put in, sitting on a bucket as my catcher, working nights so that you could be at games during the day, and teaching me sportsmanship and the importance of having a positive attitude. You encouraged me every step of the way since I was maybe 4, picking up a ball. That is what this award really symbolizes. And also to how you could have cared less about the broken window and the broken taillights from me learning how to throw a ball in the front yard. That window, by the way, is still broken. My parents never fixed it. I have no idea why. To my brother, for being supportive and also so competitive and talented that I always was playing against the best, which meant I lived my entire life losing. You are the reason why I'm able to lose with grace and come back determined times 10 to be the next person I'm going to face, double or nothing. Whether you realize it or not, you taught me how to never give up and to persevere through failure. And because of you, I am the athlete and person I am today. To my mom, who I miss dearly, and who wanted this for me since the very moment I graduated. Sorry. This award will always be something that reflects the amount of time and support she put in as my mom and as my biggest fan. I'm sorry. Not only was she at every single game, She was the guinea pig growing up because she would be in the batter's box and I'd be throwing. And the amount of bruises that woman took from me, yeah. And she was always the one that made me never leave my equipment anywhere because God forbid I still do that today. So this induction just means everything to me because it really will carry on her memory forever. I also want to recognize my teammates and my coaches and the athletic trainers, which apparently is not really a thing anymore either, but they literally made me like prepared every single time for a game, and they put in so much work, and my teachers. And although Gino, the coach, and I did not really see eye to eye, I'm forever grateful that he found me, recruited me to such an amazing school, and also for allowing me to start playing as a freshman, despite how small and like unintimidating I was. He gave me the opportunities, and I really, because of the people around me, I picked up and ran with it. To Q and Courtney, the best assistant coaches that I've come across. You truly were a force to be reckoned with, especially as a duo. I'll never forget playing underneath you guys and everything I learned from you, and thank you so much. To Jess LeBaron King for never failing to put me in my place on the mound and always reminding me of the job that I needed to get done. It's really because of you and that mentorship those first 2 years that made me who I was today. And also for all the players that really played behind me. So I was a ground ball pitcher. I was not going out there trying to strike everyone out. My job was to get ground balls, and that put a crazy amount of pressure on the defense behind me. And, you know, my success really speaks to everything that they did and all the hard work they put in as well. And then also my amazing psychology and criminal justice teachers, Dr. Greil, Dr. Heineman, Dr. Lickman. Anyone who had Dr. Lickman would understand, but he had a characteristic for every single one of his students because he couldn't see you by face. Crazy. But he would never reveal it. So if Dr. Lickman, if anyone tells him, I'm still haunted by that today, and I want to know what my characteristic is. And I'll never sleep until no. So most importantly, I am forever grateful to Alfred for giving me the most majestic, unique, and amazing college experience, and for allowing my mom's memory to carry on in such a special way. Thank you.
And now, moving forward, a 4-year member of our football team, Vincent Hendricks from the class of 2011, was a force at running back. During his time, the team, coached by Dave Murray, had a record of 31-12. Vincent helped the Saxons to 3 ECAC Bowl appearances, including back-to-back championships versus the University of Rochester in 2006 and 2007. Capping off a fantastic sophomore season, Vincent was named the MVP in the ECAC Northeast Championship Bowl game. In 2009, the team finished the regular season with an 8-1 record and were co-Empire 8 champions. The team was selected to the NCAA Division III playoffs. From 2006 to 2009, Vincent rushed for 3,534 yards, which puts him second in career rushing yards in the record books, and just one of 5 Saxons to reach over 3,000 yards. Amazing. With the determination to get to the end zone, Vincent ran for 34 career TDs, good for 3rd in the record books. He ran for 1,406 yards in 2007, which puts him second in the records books for rushing yards in a season. In that season and in 2009, Vincent had 8 100-yard games, which is the most in a season for any Saxon football player. In 2007, Vincent ran for 228 yards twice, with that holding the number 8 spot in the records books for rushing yards per game. Kind of crazy, 228 twice. In 2007, Vincent was selected to the All-Empire 8 First Team Offense and was named to the D3Football.com Third Team All-American. In his senior season, Vincent ran for 1,339 yards, which is still in the top 5 of the 10-game season list. Vincent graduated with a degree in psychology in 2011 and resides in Rochester. On behalf of Alfred University and Saxon Nation, I am proud to present Vincent Hendricks as a 2023 Hall of Fame inductee.
I'm sorry, I don't got a speech like everybody else. But I will say, this is all unreal because I know people will call me loving and could bring smile to people's face, but at the same time, I really felt invisible for a long time in my life. And one of the things that brought me joy was football, because people started to notice me and give me a chance to be a good friend, good person just to talk to. And when I started this journey, my mom, my brothers and sisters loved me to death. You know, couldn't see my games and stuff like that. I understood, heard it a little bit, but I understood the situation. And before I came to Alfred, the number one person that helped me start my journey was my brother Debo. He told me, don't do it for my mom, even though that hurt because I'm my mama's boy. Don't do it for my sister, don't do it for me, do it for you. Because you're the only one gonna be walking in your shoes. Whatever decisions you make, whatever choices you make, that's on you. I'm not saying that I won't be there for support, but you still gotta walk those shoes. And that led me to Alfred, which was amazing because I still felt invisible. And all the teams that was trying to recruit me wasn't recruiting me for football, like running back and stuff. Some for track and other stuff, but Dave Murray, my boy, called me. He said, you coming? I said, coming where? He said, Alfred. First of all, I don't know where that's at, but okay. And then he said, I'm like, for football, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, for running back or DB? Like, running back. I said, oh, yeah, I'm coming. And I came here, and he tricked me. He tricked me. Because he had me in the lacrosse locker room. I'm always remember that. Always remember that. He wasn't calling me trash, but, you know, it kind of was, but... And then I didn't even have my own numbers. I was really feeling left out, and what's going on here? But we started playing and practicing, and the teammates, oh my God, Chad and everybody, especially the defense. I love my offensive line and everything, but the defense brought something out of me where they told me I was strong enough to play football, regardless of my size, regardless of me second-guessing myself or anything. Because they saw a young, small guy getting up, running, hitting head-to-head with them with no problem, trying to protect my other teammates and all that stuff. And then the number one guys that brought me to life, my offensive linemen, even though they was kind of disrespectful. We'd be playing in the game and they'd pick me up with one hand and I'm like, I'm strong too. I'm big too. Like, don't treat me like a little kid. But when I looked them in the eyes, I saw the love and the trust they had for me. Wide receivers, fullbacks, everybody. Quarterback, that's the number one thing that I knew. If I could protect my quarterback, I could be out there. And the quarterback trusts me. If the quarterback could turn his back on you and feel safe, you're doing well. And doing all that stuff was amazing. And Alfred, my coach Murray didn't really realize that I owe him apologies still. I also owe my teammates apologies. because when I got hurt real bad with my knee, I really fell off the wagon, felt invisible extra again, but they stayed strong, stayed with me, kept me going, and then I came back for my senior year and did well, and I can't wait to see Dave Murray and apologize and let him know, like, football was what made me a person. And then I realized, no, football was just part of me, because all the brotherhoods and loved ones I got here supporting me, because I really didn't take it in until so many people wanted to come and support me for making it in the Hall of Fame. And I would never give that away for anything. I don't care how many injuries I had. I don't care if I did live in an athletic training room. I don't care if that I was scared to get in the ice bath. None of that. That brought me so many laughs and love and enjoyment. And the biggest thing that Alfred brought to me that I never thought I would be able to get was my brotherhood. A brotherhood that came from different states, different backgrounds, different people raising them, and till today, we all together, we all love each other, we drop of a dime, come help, give up anything just to come help us. And I just, a lot of people ask me, because I have, had my problems, would I ever give it up? No, because I would have to give up my brotherhood. And and I would never give up that, and the specialness what Alfred University brought to me to make me feel like a whole person and worth to be walking around, laugh, and have joy with people. And I even was lucky enough to get a girlfriend. But it's amazing. I'm really thankful for the Hall of Fame to get me in here, and your words really touched me, and thank you so much.
When former AU men's basketball coach Jay Murphy moved to the women's game, Jay called his daughter, Lindsay, to ask her to come to AU. Lindsay Murphy Kiefer transferred in for the 2008-2009 season and made an immediate impact, helping the Saxons beat Fisher twice in her first season. Gotta love beating Fisher. Let's go. A prolific shooter who holds the school record for points per game for a career at 15.1 points, Lindsay ended her career with 1,123 points, putting her fourth in the record books at the time of her graduation and currently holding at the number 7 spot. She is one of 2 AU players to have multiple seasons in the top 10 for most points scored in a season. She had career highs of 396 points in 2010-11 and 374 points in the 2009-10 season. Running the point, Lindsay also set up her teammates to score. She finished with her career with 250 assists and had a season high of 105 assists in her first year at AU, which sits her at 5th in our record books in both categories. Keep in mind, folks, this is a 3-year AU career, not 4. Top 5 seems to be the theme for Lindsay. With a nose for the ball, Lindsay accumulated 128 steals in her career, which holds the 5th spot. With that success, she was recognized by her team and our athletics department. She was our women's basketball team MVP all 3 years. She was recognized as the Muriel Strong Morley Award winner and the ECAC Merit Medal Award recipient in her senior year. The awards are presented to the top female student athlete and for excellence both on and off the court, respectively. Lindsay also earned accolades in the conference and nationally. During her career, she was a 2-time All-Empire 8 first-team selection and a second-team honoree. She was also selected to the Basketball Coaches Association of New York All-College Team in 2009-10. In 2011, Lindsay graduated with her undergraduate degree in childhood education and later earned her master's in education in school counseling in 2014 while serving as a graduate assistant coach. Lindsay is a school counselor in Donegal School District, and she resides with her family in Hummelstown, Pennsylvania. On behalf of Alfred University and Saxon Nation, I am proud to present Lindsay Murphy Kiefer as a 2023 Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you, Deb, and truly an honor to be in this moment with everybody and on a forever list, especially next to the name Nick Clark. So, my brother predicted some waterworks. I wasn't confident to bet against them, and I'm going to try here. AU has impacted me for decades. The first day on campus was when I was 6 years old. My dad took the men's basketball coaching job here at AU coming from Clarkson. Truly a dream to be dropped off by the school bus, playing basketball with my brother, hanging with the Murray family, and shooting hoops alongside the college team. The players always included us, made it, like I said, a lot of fun and a dream. Alfred was full of what I needed, both when I was a kid and a college student. Love, basketball, and so many wonderful people in one small town. I recognize each year passes that October 15th will always hold a special place in my heart, the day that D3 College Hoops kicks off. The special feeling never really ends, as sports can touch us forever in a way that you only know if you feel it too. A lot of people at my side today came into my life on this campus, the most important one being my husband, Justin. We connected our junior year, and I feel lucky every day that you're my better half. You put others first, set big goals, have the sweetest heart, and made my real dream come true. There was something written in the stars regarding our Alfred love story. We welcomed our son Max into this world 6 weeks early. He was due on April 17th. What do you know? He was born March 8th. Max, I'm talking about you. And when was he born? March 8th, Jersey 3, Jersey number 8. That's his birthday, March 8th. So, as we conquered the difficult year that followed in support of his health, the numbers truly added a needed dose of comfort. To our children, Max and Kelsey, I want to say to you today that I hope, like me, you find something, even if it's not basketball, that makes you whole until you find the person that makes you whole. Basketball and the world and the people I got to share the world of basketball with gave me everything in life. My heart is thankful and my words come easy. This is truly a team award in my mind. Ooh, I need my water almost there. Oh, thank you. Gosh. Not every little girl can look up to a caring, smart, athletic, hardworking female at such a young age, let alone call them their mother. Mom, you support Kyle and I in every step of life, and I hope you know I'm always amazed by you. My heart will always be full because you're in it. Dad, that phone call still rings in my ears as I sat in my Fisher dorm room asking me to transfer and come play for you. Thank you so much for the atmosphere you provided. I'll always remember it. And I always felt trust from you in the player-coach relationship, but in reality, it's just the individual you are. Kyle, my little brother and go-to competitor, I would certainly not be standing here without you in this journey of life. Thank you for continuing to bring a light to our family. I would go on about the sports memories, but hopefully we still have some more to make. And especially now that we have Annie in the family, I'm sorry to say I can still see you losing to a girl again. To my teammates, got one here today, Alicia. College was fun because of you guys. I'll always remember those family-like moments, such a great group of people to be around. You're seeing a lot of them here with the football team, the men's basketball, men's lacrosse team. I certainly have some best friends for life thanks to that orange ball. Shout out again to Alicia, Danielle, Courtney, Lawrence, Shauna, and Sarah. Also, off my speech here, thank you to the boys who played pickup basketball with me, letting a girl in the gym. I really appreciate you guys. In conclusion here, thank you again to this magical campus of Alfred for giving me what matters most in life, family time, friendships, and memories that'll last a lifetime. The impact of AU is huge when it comes to defining my life, past, present, and future. Papa J, my conclusion is for you. You want to stand up? Come on. My life was enriched with joy the day I stepped onto the court next to you. I still feel in a dream thinking back to it. Dad, Coach. Dad, Coach, and now the most important title we heard there, Papa J. Sorry. Jeez, I almost made it. Thank you for the honor of playing point guard under somebody who understood what I could offer the game and what the game offered me. This moment is so special to me because I share it with you and the rest of the family. I'll always remember today, game days wearing number 3 and playing for my dad.
We did bring some tissue, I forgot to tell everybody. All right, cleanup hitter right here. Chad Prairie was a 4-year, gritty, motivating player for our Saxon football team. Our teams, on teams, there are the leaders and a leader. The leaders are 24/7, 365 leaders. A leader leads certain aspects of a team, perhaps a smaller group, or another critical function of a team. Chad was the leader, according to the folks that I've talked to. His leadership impact is demonstrated by the crew here to support him and Vincent. Chad was a team captain in 2008, 9, and 10. In 2008, he wasn't playing due to an injury and still held that role with his team. A true mark of a great leader is when the chips are down for them personally, they can look outside themselves and positively impact the team or an organization. A Caledonia Mumford graduate, Chad Prairie is one of only a few football players in AU history to earn all Empire 8 honors all 4 years. He joins the ranks of current Hall of Fame members Don Miller and Nick Clark as some of the only football Hall of Fame members to earn all Empire 8 in each of their 4 years. Number 44 in your program, Chad earned all Empire 8 second team honors 3 times and was an all Empire 8 first team selection in 2007. He was our team's defensive MVP in his junior and senior years. A tough as nails, fearless linebacker, Chad helped lead our Saxon football team to back-to-back ECAC championships in 2006 and 2007. He then helped the team earn back-to-back Empire 8 championships in 2009 and 2010, making the NCAAs in both years with the Saxons, advancing to the Elite 8 at the perennial powerhouse Mount Union. Chad graduated with a degree in childhood education in 2010 and then returned to AU to earn his master's in literacy in 2011. Chad resides up the road in Dansville is the head football coach at Dansville Wayland Cohocton and an elementary school teacher. On behalf of Alfred University and Saxon Nation, I am proud to present Chad Prairie as a 2023 Hall of Fame inductee.
So, kind of like my boy Vince here, I'm kind of ad-libbing. So, there's too many thoughts and too many emotions that go through my heart when I think about AU and what it means to me. First and foremost, I don't think a lot of people understand that football really wasn't, to me, the end-all be-all. I started at UB. My father got sick. And excuse me. So I started to try to get closer to home, and good Lord, sorry, try to get closer to home. And meanwhile, I have some really great friends prior, Paul Keeley and Donnie Miller and Jake Syracuse and, Leroy Caledonia Rivals. And, I applied to Fisher, and I'm thankful I didn't go there. And Paulie's like, hey, why don't you apply to Alfred? We're having a great time down here. You're fairly close to home. It's quick. And so I did. And so first and foremost, I'd like to thank Paul and Donnie for putting me under their wing and, bringing me down here and giving me, the Class A treatment and teaching me what it's all about. So if we can give them a round of applause. So I came down here and I was a green player. Not a lot of people wanted, a 5'9", linebacker, and I was the kid that just had the chip on his shoulder, and I learned fairly quickly. I just had to use my attitude in the right ways, and Coach Murray loved that about me, and I was able to channel my way of aggression towards a positive means, I guess you would say. So. With that, we were able to have some phenomenal times together, and we all talk about this with games and, like wins and losses. It's really not that. Everybody on this stage talked about the relationships that you build with each other and the brotherhood and what it means to be a Saxon and what it means to be a true teammate. And every single one of these guys, if you could all stand up right now, which will be probably half of you, every one of you, if you're a teammate or a coach that was with me, please stand up right now. That would be fantastic. Come on, get up, Rasan. Hey. Lindsay kind of hit on it. It's not about an individual, right? It's about a team, and it should be a team award, right? And nothing is possible without anybody around me. I had Donnie Miller taking on 3 people every play for me to be able to make a play at linebacker. There's so many different circumstances but everybody did their part, and everybody here is truly in my heart forever. I thank Alfred for the experience that it provided me. It gave me an opportunity when not many people would. And, it brought out my identity. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a brotherhood, a new family. And the family that I share with every single one in this room, I look around, I'm forever indebted. I'd like to thank my family who trekked to Mount Union and snow and sleet and rain and during that, it brought our families closer. So in turn, kind of going full circle, My father and my mother were separated, so it always wasn't on the best of terms, right? So this became a common ground for everybody, and it brought families together. So my father, I have some of the best memories of two people in my family that are no longer with us, my grandfather and my father, who shared those times together, and we shared them as a family unit, and it wasn't previous. So I'm forever thankful for Alfred providing that experience. I'd also like to talk about one of my close teammates that also passed away, Nick. I wouldn't be here without him. I still see him. You know, him and I got very close in those dinners that Mrs. Gunn used to put on over at her house, and we'd all go over there and for years and years, and I just appreciate those times together. So at the end of the day, yeah, it's about, I think, on a lighter note, I think it's like 45-12 that I went when I was at Alfred, so that was pretty goddamn good. But it's more importantly about the family, the relationships, and the brotherhood to which I've been offered here at Alfred. I love you all. Thank you.
It's my job to close out the evening, but before I do that, I've heard some people talk about Hot Dog Day. I got to experience my first Hot Dog Day last year, and it was absolutely incredible. And I also heard someone talk about outside of ordinary. I can definitely agree that it is outside of ordinary here in Alfred. And I think it was Nicole maybe that mentioned the missing stoplight. I want to assure everyone here that the stoplight is definitely coming back. It's down because of some bridge work, but we actually, in true Alfred probably tradition, we're planning a large party for the rehanging of the stoplight. So stay tuned. You're welcome to join us for that large celebration. Hopefully it'll be similar to Hot Dog Day. On behalf of Alfred University, truly congratulations to all of our honorees this evening. As individuals, you've made a lasting impact on our athletic program. Collectively, you've amassed some amazing stats. 2 NCAA championships, 4 ECAC championships, 12 All-Empire 8 selections, 11 school records, 9 All-Americans, 3 Empire 8 championships, and countless hours dedicated to your craft, your team, and our community, and your family. As members of our Hall of Fame, we encourage you to serve as mentors to our current Saxons and generations of Saxons to come. Visit often, send a text or email, and come out to watch our teams compete. There's a lot great energy around AU athletics. From adding sports to an investment in the Saxon Hill Sports Complex, we hope you will join us in supporting our over 550 and growing student athletes through a gift to Saxon Nation. Thank you for attending tonight's induction ceremony. Please join us for dessert, coffee, and perhaps even a nightcap back up in the nightclub. Thank you.